Kiewitz art installation. I hate saying art installation, but what to do? I gotta do it. No. Anyway, this was such an incredible job. As a customer, her and her husband, they found me online. They did a Google search, which is amazing this early in the game with my website. But this was a huge challenge just in placements. They had a bunch of art. Just because you have a bunch of art doesn't necessarily mean that everything needs to be hung. There were just little subtle recommendations, like that was on the floor and they wanted to hang this piece there. And I said, honestly, the only way that piece I feel would work is if the mirror was hung, which there's an argument to be made. It's like, why are you going to make your job harder rather than easier? But for me, I feel like it's always about, the client. Like, how are they going to experience the space? So this was just like, just my favorite ensemble. There was that. And then this was a situation where there was two pieces very similar and the client wanted to have both of the pieces installed here. And I said, no, I don't agree. I think it's just going to be too much art, like too cluttered with this passage in and out of their master bedroom. So we relocated. I put got that mirror up, and then we relocated the single piece in here for the set. It just worked. But it was just so cool, man, going through recommendations. For instance here, you had this patterned piece, but that's the whole entire piece has that pattern. And, the client had that piece that I just showed you over here. But because of the light, it just looked too busy. So we put that kind of out of the light just so that it's a subtle texture that you could appreciate. So there were those two placements. And then these couple of pieces. And then, you talk about the compositions, these two pieces, for instance. There's a lot of different installers or designers, even potential clients still. You're not trying both, I always lay, if it's a double or a triple, I always lay it on the ground first, make sure that the composition's working. And then this was my favorite piece. I thought it was just friggin' awesome because it seemed like that the surround or the mantle for the fireplace was made with the frame. And then that was a piece that this couple travels a lot, and that was a piece that they got in Carmel, which I thought was cool because myself and my ex lived there for a while. But different recommendations, there was piece set up that was going to go there, piece over there, and I'm just no, it's just not going to work. So it was awesome to be able to suggest different placements, keeping things for the most part similar, that piece or the piece over the fireplace. This was a piece that they really wanted to get hung. And then off in the distance, that little piece over there, just trying to layer the space and really make it attractive. And then back here, there was a couple of challenges. They have this really cool Peter Lick piece. So that placement was, you don't want to place it too low, you don't want to place it too high, and then just looking at the spacing and the cadence, bisecting where the chandelier is, and then using that as a starter for the piece that drops down. That's not a Peter Lick piece, but it's kind of a similar artist. But people wouldn't necessarily place that there, or they would do it higher, or the piece would need to be bigger. But there's subtle textures on the wall, the knockdown texture from the drywall. They're all things to consider. Just because the piece is small doesn't necessarily mean it can't take up a larger space. And then all of these pieces were 60 on center. But coming in here, you had the light as the datum that I had to go above. So I just tried to analyze, how is this going to continue around? So I used the center of the window mullions as the center for this carry across. And then this was kind of like its own animal. That was another Peter Lick piece. And then this really cool, like little bronze. I don't know if you can kind of get a good shot of that. Get that up close. It's a really cool piece. And then there's some of these duck pieces that were spaced out in a certain way. And then these guys. And then that's it, man. It's kind of funny. I like doing the video walkthrough so I can pull this last piece of tape. If my customers ever have complaints of me, is that there's freaking green tape everywhere. Anyway, so until the next one, I'm out.